Good morning, all. Magic is believing in yourself. If you can make that happen, you can make anything happen. Welcome to the lecture series of A04 Readings on Kerala, Common Course in English for the second semester UG students of University of Calicut. This is the 8th lecture in this series. Today we discuss the beautiful story Christian Heritage by Vaikom Muhammed Bashir. This story is about communal harmony, universal love, Bashir's faith in humanity, and this story is also helping us understand Bashir's philosophy of life.
I've taken 5 of my best.
Now, let us just look at the biographical details and contribution of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is an iconic figure in Malayalam literature, born in Thaleyolaparam in Kottayam. Bashir received modern education in an English medium school, which was unheard of in Orthodox Muslim families. His engagement with the national movement and Mahatma Gandhi at a tender age, and the later alliance with the revolutionary ideas of Bhagat Singh and Hindustan Socialist Republican Association made him a freedom fighter. Twice imprisoned, he later left Kerala to escape arrest and travel widely. These travels and the untold miseries he underwent as part of these journeys served as materials for his stories and novels and also made him a legendary figure in Kerala. 1908 ജനിച്ച് 1994 വരെ ജീവിച്ച വൈക്കം മുഹമ്മദ് ബഷീർ മലയാള സാഹിത്യത്തിലെ മഹാനാണ്. കോട്ടയത്തിനടുത്ത തലയോലപ്പറമ്പിൽ ജനിച്ച് ബഷീർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് മീഡിയം സ്കൂളിൽ നിന്നും ആധുനിക വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം കരസ്ഥമാക്കി. ഒരു യാഥാസ്ഥിതിക മുസ്ലിം കുടുംബത്തിൽ അപൂർവമായിരുന്നു ഇത്തരം വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ രീതികൾ. ദേശീയ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിലും മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധിയുമായും നന്നേ ചെറുപ്പത്തിലെ ഇടപഴകിയ ബഷീർ ഭഗത് സിംഗിൻ്റെയും ഹിന്ദുസ്ഥാൻ സോഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് റിപ്പബ്ലിക്കൻ അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെയും വിപ്ലവ ആശയങ്ങൾ സ്വീകരിക്കുകയും ഒരു സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമര സേനാനിയാകുകയും ചെയ്തു. 2 തവണ ജയിലിൽ അടയ്ക്കപ്പെട്ട ബഷീർ അറസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്നും രക്ഷപ്പെടുവാൻ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നും പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇന്ത്യയിലെ മറ്റ് സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലേക്ക് യാത്ര ചെയ്തു. ഇത്തരം യാത്രാവേളകളിൽ ബഷീർ അനുഭവിച്ച ദുരിതപൂർണമായ ജീവിതാനുഭവങ്ങൾ അദ്ദേഹം എഴുതിയ കഥകളുടെയും നോവലുകളുടെയും ഭാഗമാവുകയും കേരളത്തിലെ ഒരു ഇതിഹാസ പുരുഷനായി അദ്ദേഹം മാറുകയും ഉണ്ടായി. He is a member of the trio of modern novelists and short story writers, others being Thagadi Shivashankara Pillai and Ponkunna Varakil. They were realist writers who ushered a new era into Malayalam literature by narrating the stories of the downtrodden and the marginalized sections of the society. ആധുനിക മലയാള ചെറുകഥ നോവൽ രചയിതാക്കളിൽ തകഴി ശിവശങ്കരപിള്ള, പൊൻകുന്ന വാഴ്ക്കി എന്നിവർക്കൊപ്പം മലയാള സാഹിത്യത്തിലെ ത്രിമൂർത്തികളിൽ ഒരാളാണ് ബഷീർ. സമൂഹത്തിൻ്റെ പുറംപോക്കുകളിലേക്ക് പിന്തള്ളപ്പെട്ടവരും അടിച്ചമർത്തപ്പെട്ടവരുമായവരെക്കുറിച്ച് എഴുതിയ ഈ എഴുത്തുകാർ റിയലിസ്റ്റുകൾ ആയിരുന്നു. ജീവിതത്തിൽ നിന്നും കീറിയെടുക്കപ്പെട്ട ഇപ്പോഴും ചോര പൊടിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പുസ്തകത്താളിനോടാണ് ബാല്യകാല സഖിയെ നിരൂപകനായ MP പോൾ ഉപമിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ ഉപമ ബഷീറിൻ്റെ മറ്റു നോവലുകളെയും പ്രതിഫലിപ്പിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. Critic MP Paul's comment on Balyagala Sakhi as a page torn from life with blood still fresh on torn edges suits other works of Bashir as well. What made him a much venerated and widely read author are his unique style, subtle humor, authentic description of the world around him, profound human sympathy, specialized use of the language of the commoners, and the philosophical gravity of his themes. വളരെയധികം ബഹുമാനിക്കപ്പെടുകയും വായിക്കപ്പെടുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു എഴുത്തുകാരനായി ബഷീറിനെ മാറ്റിയത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കൃതികളിലെ തനതായ ശൈലിയും നർമ്മവും ചുറ്റുമുള്ള ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ ആധികാരികമായിട്ടുള്ള വിവരണങ്ങളും ആഴമേറിയ മാനുഷിക അനുകമ്പയും സാധാരണക്കാരുടെ പ്രത്യേക ഭാഷാ പ്രയോഗങ്ങളും താത്വികമായിട്ടുള്ള വിഷയങ്ങളുമാണ്. സാധാരണ ജനങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഷ അതേ രൂപത്തിൽ സാഹിത്യമാക്കണമെന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം നിഷ്കർഷിച്ചു. ഹി ഇൻസിസ്റ്റഡ് ഓൺ യൂസിങ് ദി ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഓഫ് ദി കോമൺ പീപ്പിൾ. His style and diction later became parts of Malayalam literary canon. He often referred to himself as a humble historian. സാധാരണ ജനങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഷ അതേ രൂപത്തിൽ സാഹിത്യമാക്കണമെന്ന് നിഷ്കർഷിച്ച അദ്ദേഹം അതേ തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ശൈലിയാണ്, അതുപോലെ പദപ്രയോഗങ്ങളാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കഥകളിലും നോവലുകളിലും എല്ലാം പ്രയോഗിച്ചത്. അത് പിൽക്കാലത്ത് മലയാള സാഹിത്യത്തിലെ പ്രമാണങ്ങളായി മാറുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒരു എളിയ ചരിത്രകാരനായാണ് ബഷീർ തന്നെ വിശേഷിപ്പിച്ചത്. Now we move on to the next passage. He had written several short stories and novellas like ശബ്ദങ്ങൾ, അനുഗ്രഹത്തിൻ്റെ ദിനങ്ങൾ, ആനവാരിയും പൊൻകുരിശും. ശബ്ദങ്ങൾ, അനുഗ്രഹത്തിൻ്റെ ദിനങ്ങൾ, ആനവാരിയും പൊൻകുരിശും, എൻ്റെ ഉപ്പപ്പായ്ക്ക് ഒരു ആനയുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, പാത്തുമ്മയുടെ ആട്, സ്ഥലത്തെ പ്രധാന ദിവ്യൻ, ബാല്യകാല സഖി, മതിലുകൾ, ജന്മദിനം, പ്രേമലേഖനം മുതലായ നിരവധി കഥകൾ നോവലെറ്റുകളും അദ്ദേഹം എഴുതി. നോവലെറ്റുകൾ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നോവലിൻ്റെ അത്രയും വലിപ്പമില്ല, പക്ഷേ ചെറുകഥകളെക്കാളും വലുതാണ്, നോവലുകളെക്കാൾ ചെറുതാണ്. His over also include കഥാബീജം, one act play, ഓർമ്മയുടെ അറകൾ, autobiography, and നേരും നുണയും, മിസ്ലെനി. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കൃതികളായ നീലവെളിച്ചം, ബാല്യകാല സഖി, മതിലുകൾ, പ്രേമലേഖനം എന്നിവ സിനിമകളാകുകയുണ്ടായി. കഥാബീജം എന്ന നാടകവും ഓർമ്മയുടെ അറകൾ എന്ന ആത്മകഥയും നേരും നുണയും എന്ന സമാഹാരവും അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ മറ്റ് കൃതികളാണ്. Apart from numerous prestigious literary awards, Bashir was made a Fellow of Sahitya Academy and a Distinguished Fellow of Kerala Sahitya Academy. He was awarded Padma Shri in 1982. നിരവധി സാഹിത്യ പുരസ്കാരങ്ങൾ നേടിയ ബഷീർ കേരള സാഹിത്യ അക്കാദമികളിൽ അംഗങ്ങളായിരുന്നു. 1982 അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് പത്മശ്രീ പുരസ്കാരം ലഭിച്ചു. Now let's look at the very story prescribed for us. The story Christian Heritage talks about an unexpected guest who visit Bashir's house just to see him in person. Kochu Tommy, a rugged peasant and avid reader of the narrator, came to see him in person. Bashir, in his typical humorous way, projects his visit as a pan-religious one. A Christian has come to visit a Muslim. But deep down, Christian heritage also upholds his staunch faith in universal love and humanity. He also questions society's deep-rooted prejudices against commoners like farmers. The title of the story is very evocative. The story is translated into English by the editors. ബഷീർ ജയിലിൽ ആയിരുന്ന സമയം ഒരു ദിവസം തീർത്തും അപ്രതീക്ഷിതമായി ബഷീറിനെ സന്ദർശിച്ച ഒരു അതിഥിയെക്കുറിച്ച് ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ ഹെറിറ്റേജ് എന്ന കഥ വ്യക്തമാക്കുന്നു. കഥാകാരൻ്റെ വായനക്കാരനും കർഷകനുമായ കൊച്ചുതുമ്മി എന്ന ആൾ ബഷീറിനെ കാണാൻ ജയിലിൽ വരുന്നു. തൻ്റെ സ്വതസിദ്ധമായ നർമ്മശൈലിയിൽ ഈ സന്ദർശനത്തെ ബഷീർ ഒരു സർവമത സന്ദർശനമാക്കി മാറ്റുന്നു. ഒരു മുസ്ലിമിനെ കാണാൻ ജയിലിൽ ഒരു ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ വരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ ആത്യന്തികമായി ദ ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ ഹെറിറ്റേജ് എന്ന ഈ കഥ ബഷീറിന് മാനുഷികതയിലും മാനവികതയിലും പ്രാപഞ്ചിക സ്നേഹത്തിലും യൂണിവേഴ്സൽ ലവ് ഉള്ള അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ വിശ്വാസം ഊന്നി പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. സാധാരണക്കാരായ കൃഷിക്കാരോട് സമൂഹത്തിനുള്ള മുൻവിധിയെ കഥാകാരൻ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുന്നു. വളരെയധികം പ്രതീകാത്മകമായിട്ടാണ് ഈ കഥ ഇവിടെ അദ്ദേഹം രചിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. Now let us just look at the beautiful story, Christian Heritage. We are in page number 93, beginning of the story. When I looked out at the road one day, there was a head bobbing up near the gate. "Who is that?" I asked dubiously. "Just here to see you," the head said. "Come in." The head came inside, rolling on a dark and stout body. He was as brown skinned as black rosewood, sinewy body. Hard work had calloused his palms. His half-sleeve shirt was made of stone-washed JK cloth. He wore a dhoti and had on his shoulders a towel. Bare feet might not have shaved in a month. ഒരു ദിവസം ഞാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോഴുണ്ട് ഇടവഴിക്കരികിലെ ഗേറ്റിനു മുകളിൽ ഒരു തല. "ആരാത്?" ഞാൻ സന്ദേഹത്തോടെ ചോദിച്ചു. "ഒന്ന് കാണാൻ വന്നതാണ്," തല പറഞ്ഞു. "കയറി വരൂ." ആ തലയും പിന്നാലെ കറുത്തു കുറുകിയ ഒരു ശരീരവും മടിച്ചു കയറി വന്നു. നല്ല കരിവീട്ടിയുടെ നിറം, ഉറച്ച മാംസപേശികൾ, അധ്വാനം കൊണ്ട് തഴമ്പു വീണ കൈകൾ, അലക്കി വെളുപ്പിച്ച ഒരു JK തുണി കൊണ്ട് തയ്ച്ച മുറിക്കയ്യൻ ഷർട്ടും മുണ്ടും ചുട്ടിത്തോർത്തും, കാലിൽ ചെരുപ്പില്ല, ഒരു മാസമായി ഷേവ് ചെയ്യാത്ത മുഖം. "Please be seated," I said, pointing to a chair. The visitor didn't sit. He stood there, looking confused. He sat reluctantly down as I insisted. "Who is this man? A fan of mine, or somebody who came for some money?" "What are you here for?" I asked. "I've read you a lot. Thought I should meet you in person at least once." "ഇരിക്കൂ," എന്നു ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു കസേര ചൂണ്ടിക്കാണിച്ചു. ആഗതൻ ഇരുന്നില്ല. സങ്കോചത്തോടെ നിന്നു. വീണ്ടും നിർബന്ധിച്ചപ്പോൾ മടിയോടെ ഇരുന്നു. "ആരാണിയാൾ? എൻ്റെ ആരാധകനോ? അതോ വല്ല സാമ്പത്തിക സഹായം അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ച് എത്തിയതോ?" "എന്താ വന്നത്?" ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു. "ഞാൻ കുറെ വായിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. ഒന്ന് നേരിൽ കാണണമെന്ന് തോന്നി." He was a Christian from Changanasheri. Kochu Tommy was settled in Malabar for 8 or 9 years. An industrious laborer had planted coffee and black pepper plants. Wife was no more. 9 children, 4 sons and 5 daughters. Daughters were married off. Sons had settled with their families. ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരിക്കാരൻ ഒരു നസ്രാണിയാണ്. പേര് കൊച്ചുതൊമ്മി. 8-9 കൊല്ലമായി മലബാറിൽ വന്ന് കുടിയേറി പാർത്തിട്ട്. നല്ല അധ്വാനശീലൻ. കുരുമുളകും കാപ്പിയും വച്ച് പിടിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഭാര്യ മരിച്ചു. 9 മക്കൾ, 4 ആണും 5 പെണ്ണും. പെൺമക്കളെയൊക്കെ കെട്ടിച്ചയച്ചു. ആൺമക്കളൊക്കെ കെട്ടി വേറെ താമസിക്കുന്നു. He was hospitalized for the last month. When he got discharged from the hospital, he came straight over to see me. കഴിഞ്ഞ 1 മാസമായി ആശുപത്രിയിലായിരുന്നു. ഇന്ന് ഡിസ്ചാർജായി നേരെ എന്നെ കാണാൻ വന്നിരിക്കുകയാണ്. I felt so proud. A Christian man has come to meet a Muslim man. I called out to Fabi for tea. എനിക്ക് അഭിമാനം തോന്നി. ഒരു മുസൽമാനെ കാണാൻ ഒരു ക്രിസ്ത്യാനി നേരിട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ ഫാബിയെ വിളിച്ചു, ചായയ്ക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു. വൈക്കം മുഹമ്മദ് ബഷീറിൻ്റെ ഭാര്യയുടെ പേരാണ് ഫാബി. ഫാബി ഈസ് ദി വൈഫ് ഓഫ് വൈക്കം മുഹമ്മദ് ബഷീർ. ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരി ആൻഡ് തലയോലപ്പറം ആർ നോട്ട് that distant from each other. A Christian and a Muslim are not farther from each other. ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരിയും തലയോലപ്പറമ്പും അത്ര അകലത്തിലല്ല. ക്രിസ്ത്യാനിയും മുസൽമാനും അത്ര അകന്ന് നിൽക്കുന്നവരുമല്ല. We spoke for a long time, exchanged stories from Changanasheri, Taleolaparam and Vaikom. We laughed for a long time. Tea arrived in between. We drank it. Talks resumed. We talked about the market value of rubber, black pepper, and coffee. Time just passed. ഞങ്ങൾ ധാരാളം കഥകൾ പറഞ്ഞു. ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരിയിലും തലയോലപ്പറമ്പിലെയും വൈക്കത്തെയും കഥകൾ. ഏറെ ചിരിച്ചു. ഇടയ്ക്ക് ചായ വന്നു, അത് കുടിച്ചു. വീണ്ടും സംഭാഷണം. റബ്ബറിൻ്റെയും കുരുമുളകിൻ്റെയും കാപ്പിയുടെയും വിലയെപ്പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു. സമയം പോയത് അറിഞ്ഞില്ല. നേരം സന്ധ്യയാവുന്നു. മൂപ്പർ പോവാനുള്ള ഒരു മട്ടു കണ്ടില്ല. It became dark. He seemed to have no plans of leaving. Lights turned on in the sit-out. Talks continued even after supper. It's late into the night. Why don't you stay in? Kochithummi was a big yes. നേരം സന്ധ്യയാവുന്നു. മൂപ്പർ പോവാനുള്ള മട്ട് കണ്ടില്ല. പൂമുഖത്തെ വിളക്ക് തെളിഞ്ഞു. അത്താഴം കഴിഞ്ഞും വർത്തമാനം. നേരം ഏറെ ഇരുട്ടി. ഇന്നിനി പോകണ്ട, ഇവിടെ തങ്ങാം. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. കൊച്ചുതൊമ്മിക്ക് സമ്മതം. Kochithummi was a big yes. Fabi spread out a mat in the reading room. Christian Heritage in India by Sri John Ochanturath served as his pillow. Fabi വായനാമുറിയിൽ പായ വിരിച്ചു. തലയണയായി ഒരു പുസ്തകം കൊടുത്തു. ശ്രീ ജോൺ ഓച്ചൻതുരുത്ത് എഴുതിയ ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ ഹെറിറ്റേജ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ. I could hear him snoring shortly after. The next day, Tommy left after breakfast. When I gave him 10 rupees as a free fare, as a way fare, he didn't refuse. കുറച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ നല്ല കൂർക്കമ്പലി കേട്ടു. പിറ്റേ ദിവസം കാപ്പിയും കഴിഞ്ഞ് കൊച്ചുതൊമ്മി യാത്രയായി. പോകാൻ നേരത്ത് 10 രൂപ വഴിച്ചെലവിന് ഞാൻ കൊടുത്തു. കൊച്ചുതൊമ്മി വേണ്ട എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞില്ല. Wow, that's wonderful, I thought. ഹേടാ, ഇത് കൊള്ളാമല്ലോ. 2 ആഴ്ച കഴിഞ്ഞ് മകളുടെ ഭർത്താവിൻ്റെ ഒരു ബന്ധു വന്നു കിടന്നു വീട്ടിൽ. A relative of my son-in-law came home after 2 weeks. Christian Heritage was to serve again as a pillow. 2 ആഴ്ച കഴിഞ്ഞ് മകളുടെ ബന്ധു വീട്ടിൽ താമസിക്കാൻ വന്നപ്പോൾ അന്ന് തൊമ്മിക്ക് തലയണയായി കൊടുത്ത അതേ പുസ്തകം ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ ഹെറിറ്റേജ് വീണ്ടും ഒരു തലയണയായി കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. When Fabi opened the book, something fell from it. എൻ്റെ ഭാര്യ ഫാബി പുസ്തകമെടുത്ത് നിവർത്തിയപ്പോൾ അതിൽ നിന്നും എന്തോ താഴെ വീണു. 2 fresh 100 rupees notes. എടുത്തു നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ 100-ൻ്റെ 2 പുത്തൻ നോട്ടുകൾ. Okay, my dear students, that is the end of the very small and beautiful story, Christian Heritage, by the great Malayalam story writer, novelist, Vaikom Muhammed Bashir. Now, let us just discuss the questions and answers. First question at the bottom of page 95. What makes the narrator proud? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് വൈക്കം മുഹമ്മദ് ബഷീറിന് വളരെയധികം അഭിമാനം തോന്നിയത്? We have the answer in page number 94. When Kochithummi, a Christian from Changanasheri, came to meet the narrator, Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, who is a Muslim, he felt very proud, and he felt more proud when he knew that Kochithummi was hospitalized for the last month, and very soon after his discharge he came to the house of the narrator Vaikom Muhammed Bashir. Now we move on to the second question. Why has Kochithummi come to see the narrator? Kochithummi had read the stories and novels of the narrator, and he wanted to meet the narrator in person. Therefore, Kochithummi came to see the narrator when he was discharged from the hospital. Question number 3. Who all were there in Kochutomi's family? We have the answer in page number 94. Kochutomi was settled in Malabar for 8 or 9 years. His wife was no more. 9 children, 4 sons and 5 daughters. He had 9 children, 4 sons and 5 daughters. All his daughters were married off, and his sons had settled with their families. Now we move on to the next question, question number 4. Why did Kochutomi stay back at the writer's house on that night? Fourth question's answer we have in page number 94. Kochutomi and the narrator Vaikom Muhammed Bashir spoke to each other for a long time. They found the company of each other very, very interesting. They laughed for a long time, and they spoke about Vaikom, Talayolaparam, Kottayam, and it became very late into the night. And when it was very late into the night, Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, the narrator, asked Kochutomi to stay back, and he obliged the request of the narrator and stayed at the house of the writer. Question number 5. What served as a pillow for Kochutomi? The textbook Christian Heritage, authored by Sri John Ochenturuth, served as a pillow for Kochutomi. Now we move on to the next question. 6th question. What was Kochutomi's gift to the story writer? At the end of the story, we can see Fabi is holding the text Christian Heritage to be given to the relative who has visited them as again a pillow, and as she is lifting the text Christian Heritage, 2 fresh 100 rupee notes fell down, and the answer to the question is Kochutomi's gift to the story writer is 2 fresh 100 rupee notes. Now we have the paragraph question. First paragraph question. Remember, my dear students, as I always tell you, paragraph question and essay question, you should begin with the name of the narrator, the author, the story writer. So also you should mention a little bit about the contribution of the author, the narrator. So also you can introduce the story, 2 sentences about the story. Thereafter you can come to the very precise question. Here the question is, describe the character of Kochutomi. Okay. So the Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, one of the greatest writers of Malayalam, has authored a lot of beautiful short stories and novels and novelettes, and most of his literary works are about peasants, farmers, and common people. The very small short story Christian Heritage is about a farmer of Malabar, a farmer of Kerala, and the name of the farmer is Kochutomi. Kochutomi is a great reader, and he is a very hard-working farmer. Kochutomi has a very, very busy schedule because he is a farmer, and we understand that farmers work from dawn to dusk. Despite of being very busy all the day, he is also a great reader. He has read all the stories and novelettes of Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, and because he is so fond of the literature of Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, he wishes to meet Vaikom Muhammed Bashir in person, and despite after ill and hospitalized, he comes to the house of Vaikom Muhammed Bashir when he is discharged from hospital, and he talks to Vaikom Muhammed Bashir. And from the very interaction between Vaikom Muhammed Bashir and Kochutomi, we understand that Kochutomi is a very innocent, sincere, hardworking farmer and great reader. He knows what's happening around him. He knows what's happening in his state. He knows what's happening in Kottayam, what's happening in Changanasheri, what's happening in Taleolaparam, and he is also worried about the price of commodities, especially agricultural products. And Vaikom Muhammad Bashir and Kochutomi talk for a long time, and from this we understand that both of them find great interest in each other. And we also understand that Kochutomi was married. He just settled, he migrated to Malabar, probably looking for better farms, more land, and he was married. He had 9 children, 4 sons and 5 daughters, and he just discharged his duties as a father, as a parent very well. All his sons, 4 sons and 5 daughters got married, and they are of course settled with their own families, and now he is of course a father, a husband, a farmer who has just completed all his missions in his life. And now, as we understand, we know that he is more into reading. And now because he is invited to stay back at the house of the narrator, he stays back, and he is given Christian heritage of John Ochenturan as a pillow. And early morning after breakfast he goes home, Kochutomi, but we know that he is so generous, he is so broad-minded, and he keeps 2 fresh 100 rupee notes in the very text Christian heritage. That shows his love and care for the narrator Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. And of course, Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is also such a very sympathetic, generous, kind-hearted human being that he gives a smaller amount of 10 rupees as wayfare to Kochutomi, and he accepts it, right? So he is simple, innocent, very, very kind-hearted, never arrogant, pretentious. Of course, a very good human being is Kochutomi, and Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is creating wonderful human beings in his short stories. Especially, we have a very good human being in the character of Kochutomi in this beautiful story, Christian Heritage. Justify the title of the short story. Okay, Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, the iconic literary writer, iconic writer of Malayalam literature, has yet another wonderful story in Christian Heritage, and the title of the story is very, very evocative and appropriate, because the story is about of course one Christian and a Muslim, and Christian Heritage is the title. And we understand that the very title Christian Heritage refers to another text authored by Sri John Ochenturat, and this title has a lot of significance. It's something like intertextuality. The title is about a story. The title is the story of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, and the title is about another text. It refers to another text, and this story, Christian Heritage, is about the friendship between the communication and interaction and cohabitation or living together between a Muslim and a Christian. Okay, so this story is very good and appropriate to have the title Christian Heritage. And now the story is also about another text which is given to the character Kochutomi as a pillow, and that again shows the care of the narrator, a Musliman's care for a Christian. He should rest in a comfortable way. I will give him a textbook as a pillow, and the textbook is titled Christian Heritage. Kochutomi is a great reader. Maybe he can read the text for some time and thereafter he can of course rest on the pillow. Okay, and the story is again about, of course, Christianity. It's about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is of course a role model who is asking human beings to love each other. Jesus Christ showed what is love. Love is forgetting and forgiving, patching up differences, and loving even the enemy. So this story is about what is Christianity, about what is Islam, about what is humanity, about what is being a human being, about the ultimate reality that we are all the sons and daughters of same God, no matter whether we are Muslims or Christians or Hindus or whatever be our religion. We are all brothers and sisters. So we must care for our fellow beings around us. So the story is having a beautiful title, appropriate and evocative title, Christian Heritage. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Comment on the author's attitude towards Kochutomi. Vaikom Muhammed Bashir's beautiful short story, Christian Heritage, is about religious harmony, universal love, about humanism, about the trust of one human being for the other. And from the beginning till the end, the readers are told about the attitude of Vaikom Muhammed Bashir towards Kochutomi and Kochutomi's attitude towards Vaikom Muhammed Bashir. Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, when he saw the visitor outside his house, was rather dubious, doubtful, and he was just thinking that maybe he is a beggar. And he became very, very happy when he knew that Kochutomi is a farmer who has read a lot of stories and novelettes of Vaikom Muhammed Bashir, and he was even more proud when he was told that Kochutomi is straight away from hospital. And Vaikom Muhammed Bashir is eager to listen to Kochutomi, eager to listen to talk to him, eager to spend the day with him. And Kochutomi is a stranger, maybe because he is in front of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir for the first time. Still, the narrator Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is asking his wife Fabi to prepare coffee for Kochutomi, tea for Kochutomi. And again, evening dinner is also served. He is asked to, of course, stay back, rest. Okay, so all this shows a very loving, considerate, caring, humane, generous attitude of the narrator Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. In the morning he is given breakfast, he is also given a bus fare, 10 rupee as wayfare. And from this from all this we understand that Vaikom Muhammad Bashir's attitude towards Kochutomi is the kind of humane, gentle, sympathetic, empathetic, considerate, noble, generous, dignified attitude. This should be the attitude of each and every human being for another human being. This is a very beautiful short story in which Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is just highlighting his philosophy of life, of course, asserting his faith in humanity. Again, he is just showing us what is universal love, what is religious harmony and all. Now we move on to the essay questions. We have 2 essay questions, and the answer to both the essay questions could be rather same, but when you answer, make slight changes in your introduction and conclusion. So all essay questions, you should start with an introduction on the narrator, the author. Here Vaikom Muhammad Bashir write about the greatness of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, his biographical life, his contribution to Malayalam literature, and come to the very fact that Christian heritage of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is a beautiful story, which, okay, now you can come to the very essay question. Question is, describe how the interactions between the author and the guest in the story Christian heritage speak about Bashir's philosophy of life. Okay, so Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is a writer who believes in universal love. The very philosophy of life of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is universal love, humanism, and of course the love of humanity. And the story Christian heritage shows us what is universal love, what is love of humanity, what is religious harmony, what is, or how a human being should trust another human being. Now we can write about the very story. Okay, one day a stranger comes to the house of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, and we understand that this is Kochu Tommy from Changanasheri. Initially he was at Changanasheri, Kottayam. Later he migrated to Malabar. He settled in Malabar 8 or 9 years ago. Yes, okay, just write about Kochu Tommy, and thereafter just write about the family of Kochu Tommy, and thereafter just mention his great desire to meet Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, because he has read a lot of stories and novels, and Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is also very proud of the fact that he has been just discharged from hospital. Okay, and Vaikom Muhammad Bashir gives him tea, gives him snacks, gives him dinner, gives him, of course, a mat, a bed, a pillow, and cares for him, makes friendship with him. Morning he gives him breakfast, he gives him wayfare, and all this shows the very philosophy of life of Bashir. We have to love our fellow beings, no matter what religion he is. He may be a Christian, he may be a Hindu, he may be a Muslim, but he is a human being. So, this is about the universal love of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. No matter what nationality one is, no matter what color is the skin of an individual, the language, the race, religion, community, caste, creed, nothing matters. What matters is he is a living human being, and we should care for all the living things. Especially we should care for human beings. We shouldn't discriminate human beings. Okay, we should give them food, we should just support them, we should be sympathetic. Okay, so that is universal love, the philosophy of then love of humanity, then again religious harmony. Maybe some people are rather afraid of, or rather some have some uh, reluctance to make friendship with people who belong to other religions, caste, creed, color, and all. But Vaikom Muhammad Bashir says, okay, we should love, make friendship with our fellow beings, whatever be the caste, creed, color, religion, and race of human beings. Okay, so he trusts Kochutumi. It is because of the trust. Kochutumi could, if he never doubts that Kochutumi is a criminal or he is a nasty man, he is a rude man. Because if he had doubted Kochutumi, he wouldn't have permitted him to sleep there. He has his wife there, his kids there, and he trusted Kochutumi. So this trust in Kochutumi shows Bashir's trust in humanity, Bashir's trust in the world. Okay, now we come to the next essay question. Christian heritage reiterates, repeats the author's faith in humanity and kindness. Comment. Okay, the same answer. Vaikom Muhammad Bashir accepts Kochutumi. He gives him all that he requires. He gives him love, he gives him friendship, gives him food, coffee, tea, bedding, gives him, of course, a bus fare, a wave fare, and this shows the very, very faith of Bashir in humanity. And this is, of course, the kindness of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. And this is the very, very value Jesus Christ lived. All this we have in Christianity. All this we have in all religions. Okay, Jesus Christ was very kind towards the poor. Jesus Christ was very kind towards the sick. Very kind towards, of course, the sinners. And similarly, Vaikom Muhammad Bashir is also just spreading all the values he inculcated from his religion, Islam. So also he has inculcated a lot of values from Christianity. He knows who Jesus Christ is. He knows what Christianity is. He knows what the Bible speaks about. And Vaikom Muhammad Bashir loves Kochutumi, a stranger, a visitor. He gives him everything. He trusts him. He has faith in Kochutumi. And if all of the readers, all of us have similar kind of faith in our fellow beings, entire Kerala would be a heaven. It would really be God's own country if we can see our brothers and sisters in our fellow beings. Okay, so this story, Christian heritage, reiterates the author's faith in humanity and kindness, and he is asking his readers and students and we all to be humane, to be kind, to be sympathetic, and to be empathetic. Okay, with that we come to the end of the discussion of this chapter, Christian heritage. Thank you, my dear students. If you find this lecture useful, please like it. You can just write your comments. You can just share it with your friends. We have also other lectures and I'll be giving class on all the other chapters. Thank you, everybody. Be happy, work hard, prepare very well for your examinations. May God bless you. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.